As Colbert mentioned, one of the key programs of the U.S.-Japan Council is the Japanese-American Leadership Delegation that goes to Japan every year under the sponsorship of both the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and for many years under also the sponsorship of the Japan Foundation Center for Global Partnership. I wanted to just identify, Colbert said there was about 150 JLD alumni, but we have a lot of alumni here. I wonder if you'd just stand, those of you who are JLD alumni. So we have a real good representation, I think, of JLD alumni here. The important thing from my standpoint is not the fact that they went to Japan, which was very important and impressive to each one of them. But the impressive thing is that they've continued to have an interest in what goes on in U.S.-Japan relations. When this program started in the year 2000, one of the things that I thought was important to people like myself and Tomino and Irene was, not just to give them a chance to go to Japan, but have them connected to Japan. Back in the early days of JLD, it was individuals who had never been to Japan, and give them an opportunity to see Japan as it is, a chance to meet with leaders in Japan. More recently, we've elevated it to individuals who have had experiences in Japan and have been to Japan. But the key and the important thing, as you can see from the people who are here and active in the U.S.-Japan Council, is the fact that they want to keep engaged. And that was the catalyst, I think, for some of them a catalyst to be more actively involved in U.S.-Japan relations. I want to take this opportunity. I mentioned the Japan Foundation Center for Global Partnership as being one of the very important supporters of the JLD program. The center, the Japan Foundation continues to help to support a symposium that the JLD delegates present every year in Japan when they go there. I wanted to acknowledge Mr. Akio Nomura, who is the Executive Director of the Japan Foundation Global Center for Global Partnership, who is here with us today. Mr. Nomura, and thank you very much. Now I have a very distinct honor. I don't know if everybody's still awake, Ihara-san, but you have the pleasure of being the last speaker of the day before cocktails and food. So you know what that means in the United States. But it's a great honor and pleasure because Ihara-san is somebody that those of us in Los Angeles know very well. He served in Los Angeles as the Consul General of Japan in Los Angeles for about 3 years. About a year or so ago, returned to Japan to assume an even more important position as the Director General of the North American Affairs Bureau in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. While he was in Los Angeles, he was very instrumental in fostering close relationships with the Japanese American community. I think that was one of the priority programs that he had in place at that time. Many, many times and many opportunities did he bring the Japanese business community together with members of the U.S.-Japan Council to foster relationships there. He was a primary supporter of what we have as one of our priority programs at the USJC, and that's this legislative exchange program. The members will hear more about the program tomorrow, but very interested in making sure that Diet members like Taro Kono and members from the U.S. Congress, like Senator Inouye and others, have an opportunity to understand the importance of U.S.-Japan relations. This is a program that's a very important one from our standpoint, in addition to what Mr. Ninami said today about having business people, exchanges of business people in the future. We expect, and those of us who know Mr. Ihara, expect him to continue to be able to contribute to what we've been able to do at the USJC. And with his support now in his position as Director General of the North American Affairs Bureau, our expectations are quite high, quite high. there's nothing that we're going to let him get away with. He's a terrific individual. He's a great representative of the government of Japan, and we are indeed pleased to have him with us today. So let me introduce to you a good friend, Mr. Junichi Ihara.
Thank you, Henry, for your generous introduction. And I said, I would say your introduction is longer than the remarks that I prepared. Well, thank you for this opportunity to speak. I'm honored to do so before such a distinguished audience. I'm from Tokyo, but more precisely, I'm from Kasumigaseki, and where I'm working every day, I'm struggling, and I'm dealing with various issues, in particular, most recently, Osprey's deployment in Okinawa. I'm not always happy. I'm sometimes a little bit frustrated or depressed. And today I'm very happy to be here because I'm very much encouraged, not only by powerful speech made by Diet member Kono, but 3 Japanese, the high school students. Particularly when they left the stage, their big smile was really impressive, and I'm very happy, and thank you very much for including me today. It is also my personal pleasure to join your annual meeting and renew friendships with many of you who I had the chance to know and meet while I was in Los Angeles as Consul General. I don't want to be too ostentatious, but just to be a Southern Californian, open and frank, when I say that there are a number of advantages and benefits to being the Consul General in Los Angeles. Now Mr. Nimi is enjoying that special status, though my predecessors didn't say so in public. During my time, one of the good things I enjoyed most was the exclusive role of Los Angeles in facilitating the annual visit to Japan of JALD delegates. Before their departure to Japan, all the participants have to come to Los Angeles to have 2-day briefing sessions during which the Consul General there gives a reception for them and a lecture about Japan. For 3 consecutive years, I fully used this privilege to get to know those nice and able Japanese Americans. On one of these occasions, I said to the delegates, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs hosts many invitation programs, but this JALD is by far the most successful program we've ever had. But on another occasion, maybe some of you remember that, when in Japan, a newly installed DPJ government was reviewing and scrutinizing each ministry's spending through an infamous process called shiwake, I said to that year's delegates, the future of the program will depend on you. You have to demonstrate that the program is useful, worth using Japanese taxpayers' money. Now I'm in a position to receive the delegation in Japan. In fact, I had a very good time with the class 2012 delegates this spring. And I feel even more strongly that this is really an excellent program. And I will fight against any arguments to review and shrink the program. And I'm sure that we can count on Mr. Kono's strong support for the program. Over the years, the role and the mission of the JALD program has evolved, in my view. Individually, discovery of the land of ancestry has always been the central theme. But I think that being selected as a delegate now has a more significant and consequential meaning for each participant, as Japanese American leaders are now better organized under the U.S.-Japan Council. The Japanese government is happy to contribute through the program to searching for and recognizing leaders and the future leaders of the Japanese American community, and thus help to strengthen the U.S.-Japan Council. Finally, I would like to join many other speakers today to congratulating the U.S.-Japan Council on your achievement so far as a dynamic, non-partisan civic organization promoting friendship between Japanese and Americans, between Japan and the United States. And I wish you all further success in your missions and endeavors. Thank you very much.